June 7, 1958, Minneapolis, Minnesota. A child is born who will fundamentally change the landscape of popular music forever. His name, Prince Rogers Nelson. But the world would simply know him as Prince. Over the next 5 minutes, we're diving into the story of a man who didn't just make music, he became music. A genius who played 27 instruments, wrote thousands of songs, and refused to let anyone tell him what he could or couldn't be. This is the story of Prince. Prince's childhood was complicated. His parents separated when he was young, and music became his refuge. But here's the thing. He wasn't just good at music. He was possessed by it. By age 7, he'd written his first song. By his teens, he could play guitar, piano, drums, bass, you name it, and not just competently, masterfully. At 19, Prince signed with Warner Brothers Records with an almost unheard-of deal: complete creative control. The label executives heard his demo tape where he'd played every single instrument himself, and they knew they had something special. His 1978 debut album dropped, and while it didn't set the charts on fire, it announced something important. A new voice had arrived, and he was going to do things his way. Then came the 1980s, Prince's decade. 1999 and 1982 made him a star. But 1984's Purple Rain, that made him a legend. Think about this. Purple Rain was simultaneously a #1 album, a #1 single, and a hit movie. When was the last time anyone did that? The album spent 24 consecutive weeks at #1, 24 weeks. But here's what made Prince truly revolutionary. He shattered every box the music industry tried to put him in. Rock, funk, pop, R&B. Prince said yes to all of it and created something entirely new. He brought his Minneapolis sound, a fusion of funk rock, new wave, and soul, and the world had never heard anything like it, and his image. The ruffled shirts, the purple suits, the androgynous presentation in the conservative 80s. Prince was fearlessly himself. He challenged ideas about masculinity, sexuality, and what a black artist could be. By the 90s, Prince was at war with his label. Warner Bros. Wanted to control when and how he released music. But Prince was creating faster than they could market him. He had hundreds of songs in the vault. So in 1993, he did something wild. He changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol, a combination of the male and female symbols. The media called him the Artist. Formerly known as Prince people thought he'd lost his mind, but Prince knew exactly what he was doing. He appeared in public with "slave" written on his face, making a powerful statement about artistic ownership in the music industry. This wasn't a publicity stunt. This was revolution. Prince was fighting for every artist's right to own their own work, their own voice. Years before streaming battles and Taylor Swift's re-recordings, Prince was on the front lines. Prince eventually won that battle. He got his masters back and returned to his name. He continued making music on his own terms, performing legendary concerts and mentoring new artists. April 21st, 2016. The world stopped when news broke that Prince had died at just 57 years old. The tributes poured in from every corner of the globe. Buildings lit up in purple. Musicians wept openly. Because Prince wasn't just a musician, he was an inspiration, proof that you could be exactly who you are and still conquer the world. 7 Grammy Awards, an Academy Award, over 100 million records sold, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But numbers can't capture Prince's true legacy. He showed us that genius doesn't fit in a box, that art should be free, that you should never compromise who you are for anyone. Prince didn't just make music, he was music wild, untamed, and absolutely unforgettable.